Howdy and welcome to Reel2Reel,
a show where we review the newest and baddiest movies out there.
I'm your host, Cody Pratt.
And I'm your co-host, Matt Houselodden.
This week, we are reviewing the movie Hotel Transylvania 2.
Now let's just sit back and sink our teeth into another episode.
As we just mentioned, this week we are reviewing Hotel Transylvania 2.
The movie takes place as an unwarranted sequel to the first movie, starting off with Jonathan and Mavis's marriage and quickly escalating through the growth of their kid. Mavis's father, Dracula, is worried that his grandson isn't monster enough, so he convinces Mavis to go on vacation. That way, he can get a chance to show the boy the ropes and help him grow his fangs. Everything hits the fan when Dracula's human-hating father stops by to meet his not-so-monstrous grandson.
Wow, you really didn't leave anything out in your review, did you, Matt?
What? I like to be thorough.
I guess I'll just mop up the little that you missed then. The movie was directed by Genndy Tartakovsky, who is also known for his work in classic cartoons like Dexter's Laboratory and Samurai Jack. It also stars the voices of Adam Sandler as Dracula and Selena Gomez as his daughter Mavis, not to mention Kevin James as the unforgettable Frankenstein.
Why do they choose big, expensive actors and singers when all they're filming is their voices?
All about putting those big names on the poster, buddy-o. That is the sad, sad truth. But it's time for us to take a break and let the audience get a glimpse of the movie we've been discussing.
Let's watch the trailer.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I...
What? That's not how that one goes. What's wrong with... Suffer, suffer, scream in pain. Blood is spilling from your brain.
Daddy.
Come on, you know how I sang it to you. Zombies gnaw you like a plum. Piercing cries and you succumb. Still works. Ever since Johnny and Mavis had their little monster, I've been the happiest vampire in the world!
Are we sure he's a vampire?
Technically, you have until you're 5 to get your vampire fangs.
Oh, he'll get his fangs. He's just like me. Look at him.
Blah, blah, blah.
I don't say blah, blah, blah.
We've been talking about moving somewhere safer for Dennis.
But then I'll be all alone.
Dad, don't give me the pouty bat face.
We gotta teach this kid how to be a monster.
Wow.
If we get his fangs to come out, Mavis can't leave. Robbie, you okay out there? He's fine. He's Blobby. Okay, Murray, show him how to be scary. Ow! My back. For real?
We're so happy you came to visit.
I love California. 48 flavors. This place is open all night, right, sir?
Yes.
She's gonna wanna move. I gotta fix this kid now. How are we doing?
Boo!
Oh, he's adorable.
How cute!
You know who could fix the kid in a snap? Vlad.
Hi, Dad. Are we ready to do this? Guys, we're running out of time. I'm sorry, Blobby. We really meant to call you sooner. Okay, fellas, plan B.
Coming through.
Happen on. Hit it. Are you kidding me?
Hotel Transylvania 2 is a sequel to the original installment. It's got a slightly different plot, but otherwise it's pretty much identical to the first movie.
I can agree with that one. Now, before anyone can steal my thunder this time, the movie had a budget of $80 million, and grossed more than half of it back in the opening weekend alone, with $48.5 million. As of last week, they had grossed more than double their budget. Therefore, I think it's safe to say that this movie has been an overall success.
Yeah, the reviews seem to be split, though. Half the adults seem to be saying that the movie was just a bag of gags that weren't all that funny. The other half is saying it is a fun and cute kids movie that is sure to be enjoyed.
Fun fact for you, Matt. This is both Genndy Tartakovsky's and Adam Sandler's first animated sequel. I guess no one wanted to hear Adam Sandler's voice twice in the same series.
Well, except for grown-ups too, but I guess that's a little different. But thanks for the random fact. But I don't think that's the reason, Cody.
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. We shall never know. Now, Matt, do you want to know the saving grace of this movie?
What do you mean?
I mean the character development, of course. The story wasn't bad, but it was strangled by subplots. The thing that they really did succeed was the growth in characters. That's right, not just one, but several. You can see Dracula coming to terms with having his human blood mixed in with his bloodline, or Mavis go through a crazy overprotective mother phase. Not to mention the star of the movie himself, Dennis, the child himself, growing from a baby to a mighty bat-kicking 5-year-old who seems way too smart and strong for his little age.
That was a cool ending, but unfortunately I can't go into details without spoiling the movie.
Didn't you already spoil the movie with the summary that you gave earlier?
I didn't tell them that much. We can discuss it while we take a short commercial break.
We'll be back after this short message. Welcome back to Reel2Reel, folks. Have you found yourself finding the last few Adam Sandler movies to be lacking compassion and emotion? Well, then you wouldn't be alone. The good news is that Hotel Transylvania 2 is a step up from his last few movies. Unfortunately, that's just a single step up and nothing more.
I think some notable upgrades have been made from the previous installment. The 2012 animated prequel had also made a sizable bite into the box offices, but that one had lacked any attention to story or character development. Luckily, this time around, greater attention was paid to those two important pieces.
Sure, they paid greater attention, but that isn't the same as saying great attention. Sure, bird poop might be better than cow manure, but in the end, they're both still crap. In an animated movie where there's less technical aspects to have to worry about, it's almost even more important to not mess up on those two things. Instead, it felt like the overarching story was just being whittled away by way too many one-liners and random gags. If they had been sprinkled in, I think they would have a much greater impact than having just crammed as many as they could in. Sometimes quality is way better than quantity.
I can agree with that, but we should point out the fact that story isn't the only aspect to an animated movie. You can definitely tell that they spend some time on the look of this movie as well. Just check out this clip of the movie and see the animation for yourself.
Holy rabies! This looks like a blast!
I don't know, maybe. This can be pretty dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Of course, I rock these bikes. Check it out! Oh yeah! This is how I rolled every summer. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I think I scratched it.
My turn!
Okay. Even I can admit that there is some attention to detail in that last scene. They kept the theme really well throughout the whole entire movie, and each scene was a pretty picture. But pretty pictures still don't make a good movie. The thing that really killed me was the overuse of filler and random jokes that weren't all that funny. They stretched the movie 89 minutes, but I was ready to leave after the first 20. The movie seemed to go on and on and on, almost as long as Sandler's career has been in the decline.
Dang, Cody. But yeah, the parts that I didn't mind them stretching was the aerial sequences. The bats flying through the air was as impressive as it was beautiful. The clouds and the landscapes really came to life with color, though the bats seemed to lose most of their detail while in motion. But as Cody keeps pointing out, Adam Sandler, co-writer Robert Smigel, and director Genndy Tartakovsky really jammed in way too many one-liners, as well as pop culture references and silly gags, most of which had very little payoff.
I guess the only thing left to critique then is the sound and the editing. There's not much to say with the sound. As with most animated movies, the sound fit great, but there wasn't anything that really stood out in it. The music fit, and the voices were more than understandable. Not much else to ask for in a movie like this, except for maybe for them to bleep out some of that incessant dialogue.
Pacing-wise, I think the movie did well. There were several scenes that weren't really needed to progress the story and were added seemingly to be used as filler, but the pace of the movie didn't feel too slow. It had enough enthusiasm to get over any slow bumps. So, Cody, are you ready to give your review?
Sure, Matt. As long as after I add my input, you put your input. I'm going to suck the dead horse dry just one more time and whine about the overuse of pop culture gags. I can let one selfie joke slide, but when you put in 3 of them, I highly doubt any of them really helped make this movie any better. Anyway, the overall story was cute and the animations were good. That's the only reason this movie is scraping by with a 2 out of 5 reels. Now, Matt, let's hear what you have to say about this movie.
I felt that the movie was roughly the same. I was able to appreciate some of the humor and got to enjoy the nice animations. Hearing the voices of a bunch of big-name actors really didn't add anything for me, and felt more like false advertising than anything. Dennis was the hero of the movie, and they created his character to be likable and fun. In my opinion, I think that is one of the only reasons this movie is doing so well in sales. I'll give it a 2 out of 5 reels as well. I personally didn't think it was that great of a movie, but they must be doing something right for all the money that they're pulling in.
Well, Matt, it looks like we're spent too much time complaining, and it's almost time to end the show. But first, we need to let them know what's coming up on the next show.
On the next episode of Reel2Reel, we will be reviewing Spectre, the new James Bond film. So tune in at 1 to watch another great review.
This has been your host, Cody Pratt.
And I'm your co-host, Matt Houselawton, signing off.